In this particular video, we will discuss about the kinetics of a reversible reaction. Okay, a first order forward reaction opposed by a first order reversible reaction, wherein the initial concentration of product is now not equal to 0. So what does it mean? Okay, I already have this compound B, that is the product B. Already I have this, okay, prepared earlier. Okay, and what I'm doing now is, before the beginning of this reaction, I am intentionally adding a certain amount of the product B into the reaction mixture, and now I am trying to evaluate what would be the kinetics of such reaction. So we will follow a very similar, okay, mathematical derivation, okay, of rate constants K1 and K2, and also try to find out K1 plus K2. It would be interesting to compare the results of kinetics of this reversible reaction with the reversible reaction that we discussed in the previous video, where the initial concentration of the product is 0, and to our surprise we see that the expressions that we obtain in both the cases are very much similar, okay, or the equations are almost same, with slight differences in the expressions for K1 plus K2. Okay, so I have already written down the scheme here. Again, we are having a first order reaction, forward reaction, opposed by a first order backward reaction. So at t is equal to 0, the reaction has not yet started. The initial concentration of the reactant is A moles per dm cube, and the initial concentration of the product B is B moles per dm cube. See, this B amount of product B that is I have written here, that is B moles per dm cube, is not due to the reaction, because at t is equal to 0, reaction has not yet started. This amount I have already added, okay, before the commencement of the reaction. So at a certain time t, okay, I observe that out of A moles per dm cube, X moles per dm cube of the reactant has reacted and has been converted to form X moles per dm cube of product. So let us find out what is the net concentration of the reactant and the product at time t. So the net concentration of the reactant at time t is A minus X, and the net concentration of the product B is B plus X. Already we had B amount. Now due to the reaction, X moles per dm cube has been further formed, so the total concentration of B is B plus X. So what is the rate of the forward reaction now? The rate of the forward reaction is the rate constant of the forward reaction into the concentration of the reactant of the forward reaction, that is A at time t, which is K1 into A minus X. Okay, similarly the rate of backward reaction is equal to rate constant of the backward reaction into concentration of the reactant for the backward reaction, that is concentration of B at a time t, that is K2 into B plus X. And I already told in the previous class, for a reversible reaction, the net rate dx by dt is rate of forward reaction minus rate of backward reaction, that is K1 into A minus X minus K2 into B plus X. This is the net rate of the reaction. And what is the fate of any reversible reaction? Any reversible reaction ends at the or reaches the state of equilibrium, where the rate of forward reaction is equal to rate of backward reaction, or net rate of such reaction becomes 0 when the state of equilibrium is attained. So this reversible reaction, after certain amount of time t, reaches the state of equilibrium, where net rate of the reaction become equal to 0. And let Xe represent the equilibrium concentration of the product formed at equilibrium due to this reaction. So at equilibrium, the net rate of the reaction dx by dt becomes equal to 0, and the value of x reaches its equilibrium value. So the value of x, which varies with the time, reaches its equilibrium value when the reaction reaches equilibrium, that is when the rate becomes 0. So if I substitute this condition in equation 1, we get therefore K1 into A minus Xe minus K2 into B plus Xe is equal to 0. If we rearrange this expression, we get k2 into b plus xe is equal to k1 into a minus xe. So you can write an expression for rate constant k2 as k1 into a minus xe divided by b plus xe. So this is the relation between the rate constants k1 and k2 for the forward and backward reaction. So for now we have used a very similar mathematical procedure, okay, that we had used for the reversible reaction in the previous class also. Now let us utilize this relation, okay, by substituting equation 2 in equation 1. Okay, let us rewrite equation 1 by using equation 2. So let us substitute equation 2 in equation 1. So we get dx by dt, that is the net rate of the reaction, is k1 into a minus x minus k2. What is k2 according to equation 2? It is k1 into a minus xe divided by b plus xe into b plus x. Okay, let us simplify this equation. Dx by dt is equal to, if we take the common denominator as b plus xe, we get k1 into a minus x into b plus xe, that is the first term, minus k1 into a minus xe into b plus x, that is the second term. So let us simplify the numerator. Okay, dx by dt is equal to, so the first term is k1 into a into b, k1 into a into b. The second term would be k1 into a into xe plus k1 into a into xe. The third term would be k1 into minus x into b, so minus k1 into x into b. The fourth term would be k1 into minus x into xe, so minus k1 into x into xe minus, okay, first term is minus k1 into a into b minus k1 into a into b. Second term is minus k1 into a into x minus k1 into a into x. Third term is minus k1 into minus, that is plus xe into x, so it becomes plus k1 into xe into x minus k1 into minus xe, that is plus into x, so plus into b, so plus k1 into xe into b. So altogether you have 8 terms whole divided by b plus xe. Okay, so let us cancel out certain terms. These two terms when added become 0. Similarly, these two terms on adding becomes 0. Now if we look at this term and this term, so you have k1 into a is common for these two terms. Similarly, if I compare this and this, okay, if I compare this and this, k1 into b is common. Okay, so we can further simplify the numerator of this equation and write rate is equal to, okay, so dx by dt is equal to, let me consider these two terms, k1 into a is common into xe minus x. Here k1 into b is common, so plus k1 into b is common. Here I have xe and here I have minus x divided by b plus xe, okay, which can be further simplified because you have xe minus x into k1 as common. So the numerator, okay, can be further simplified as dx by dt is equal to k1 is common, xe minus x is common, so you are left with term a here plus b, okay, into b divided by b plus xe. So we are simplifying equation 1, that is the net rate of the reaction, by substituting equation 2 and getting a much simpler term, and this is a differential form of expressing the rate of the reaction, and it is always useful to express the rate of the reaction in the integrated form. So in order to convert this into integrated form, we have to rewrite this or rearrange this expression in such a way that all the x terms containing variable x are on one side and the other variable time t is on the other side of this equation. So let us rearrange equation 3. Okay, rearranging equation 3. So if you have only one term containing variable x, so I can write it as dx divided by xe minus x, because there is only one term containing x. K1 is a constant, a plus b, they are also constant because they represent initial concentration. B plus xc is also a constant because the first term is initial concentration, xe is the equilibrium concentration. So except for this term xe minus x, other things are constants. Okay, so all those constants I will retain in the RHS. So k1 into a plus b divided by b plus xe, and now I shift this dt to RHS. Now this equation is ready for integration because we have separated the two variables. Variable x is in the LHS and variable time is in the RHS. Now let us integrate this equation. So on integrating, we get integration of dx divided by xe minus x is equal to, all these terms are constant, so it can be removed from the integration. So k1 into a plus b divided by b plus xe into integration of dt, that is, this is minus ln xe minus x is equal to k1 into a plus b divided by b plus xe into t, integration of dt is t, plus integration constant I. So if we find out the value of the integration constant I, we can simplify equation 4 and obtain an expression for rate constant k1. And how to find out the value of I? Again, we have to apply the initial condition that at t is equal to 0, the reaction has not yet started, so x is equal to 0. What is x? It is, what does x represent? It is the concentration of the reactant that is converted into product B, or it is the concentration of the product formed due to the reaction. Okay, so at t is equal to 0, x is equal to 0. If I substitute this condition here, we get minus ln, okay, xe minus 0, that is xe is equal to this term into 0 is also 0, so we are left with is equal to I. So I is equal to minus ln xe. Okay, so this expression is the same. Okay, the value of integration constant I is equal to minus ln xe is same for both the type of reversible reactions. So if I substitute the value of I in equation 4 and simplify, we can obtain an expression for k1. Let me do that. So therefore minus ln xe minus x is equal to k1 into a plus b divided by b plus xe into time minus ln xe. So I is minus ln xe. if I shift this term to RHS, this becomes ln xe minus ln xe minus x is equal to k1 into a plus b divided by b plus xe into t. Let us apply the rule of logarithm. Log a minus log b is log of a by b. So ln of xe divided by xe minus x is equal to k1 into a plus b divided by b plus xe into t. Okay, so now let us write what is the expression for rate constant k1 by rearranging this equation. Therefore, the rate constant k1 for the forward reaction is b plus xe divided by a plus b into t into ln of xe divided by xe minus x. Okay, so this is the expression for rate constant k1. Okay, rate constant k1 for a first order reversible reaction opposed to first order reversible reaction where the initial concentration of the product is not equal to 0. Okay, if the initial concentration of the product was equal to 0, that is, if I substitute b is equal to 0, this expression for k1 reduces to the same expression that we have derived in the case 1, okay, where the initial concentration of the product is 0. So this equation is consistent with the equation that we derived in our previous video where the initial concentration of the product was equal to 0. Okay, similarly, by using the same procedure, you can find out the value of k2. In fact, if you use the relation between k1 and k2, it is possible to find out the value of k2. Okay, that I leave it to you. Okay, you try to find out what is the value of k2. I am here interested in finding out what is the overall rate constant of the reaction, that is k1 plus k2. For that, let me again rewrite the relation between the rate constants k1 and k2. How is k2 rate constant related to k1? It is actually k2 is equal to k1 into a minus xe divided by b plus xe. Okay, I think I had written this as equation number 2. So equation number 2 gives the relation between rate constants k1 and k2. Okay, so let me directly find out what is therefore k1 plus k2. Okay, if you remember, in the previous example also we found out what is the overall rate constant k1 plus k2 of a reversible reaction. So we can find out the overall rate constant k1 plus k2 of this particular reaction also. Okay, so this is nothing but k1 plus, what is k2 according to equation 2? Let me write. Therefore k2 is nothing but k1 into a minus xe divided by b plus xe. So k1 plus k2 is nothing but k1 plus, what is k2? I have written according to equation 2. So k1 plus k2 is equal to, let me take b plus xe as the common denominator. So the numerator is now k1 into b plus xe plus k1 into a minus xe. Okay, so if I simplify the numerator, so k1 plus k2 is equal to k1 into b plus k1 into xe, okay, this term, plus k1 into a minus k1, we lost the track here. Okay, we will not do all these things. Okay, Okay, let me try this. Okay, therefore k1 plus k2 is equal to a1 into b plus k1 into xe plus k1 into a minus k1 into xe divided by b plus xe, that is equal to, so k1 into xe minus k1 into xe gets cancelled, they become 0. Here I have k1 as constant, so it is k1 is constant. Here I have a plus b divided by b plus xe. So this is nothing but k1 plus k2, or k1 plus k2 is equal to, what is k1? We know already what is k1 according to equation 5. So let us substitute equation 5 for k1 here. So k1 plus k2 is k1, that is b plus xe divided by a plus b into t into ln of xe divided by xe minus x into a plus b divided by b plus xe. So this is k1 according to equation 5 into remaining terms that are present here. So this is obtained from equation 5, obtained from equation 5. So you have a plus b in the numerator and a plus b in the denominator, which becomes 1. Similarly, b plus xe in the numerator and b plus xe in the denominator also cancels. Okay, so you have therefore k1 plus k2 is equal to, okay, 1 by t into ln of xe divided by xe minus x, or k1 plus k2 is equal to, if we convert this natural logarithm to base 10, it becomes 2.303 divided by t into log of xe divided by xe minus x. So this is the expression for the rate constant, okay, overall rate constant k1 plus k2 of a reversible first order reversible reaction where the initial concentration of the product is not equal to 0. And interestingly, if we compare this expression for k1 plus k2 with the earlier case, that is a reversible first order reversible reaction where the initial concentration of the product was 0. Okay, if I compare these two expressions, they are one and the same, they are similar expressions, but still the values of k1 plus k2, okay, obtained here is different from the values of k1 plus k2 obtained there. Though they look similar, their values are not same, because the value of xe that we obtain in this particular case is different from the value of xe there. Okay, in both the equations xe represent equilibrium concentration, but the value of the equilibrium concentration is not same for both the cases, they differ. So adondu bitre equations are very much similar, but the values are different because the value of xe is same. So enagtade, when I add, okay, product b in advance before the reaction, what will happen? It will disturb the equilibrium of the reaction. So by adding excess amount of b, okay, before the reaction, what we are doing is we are actually shifting the equilibrium of the reaction. So equilibrium ಎಷ್ಟು time ಆದಂತ reach ಆಗಬೇಕಿತ್ತು, now the reaction is reaching equilibrium either very fast or very slow. So ultimately the equilibrium is attained, but at what time that equilibrium is attained is different for the two cases. Okay, and therefore the value of the equilibrium concentration will also be different. So xe values are different for case 1 and case 2, but the overall expression for k1 plus k2 are similar. So this is about the kinetic analysis of a first order reversible reaction where the initial concentration of the product is not equal to 0. So by using the procedure, the mathematical procedure that we have used here to analyze the kinetics of a first order reversible reaction, You can also apply similar method to reversible reactions which are a bit complicated compared to this. Okay, for example, a second order forward reaction reverse opposed by a first order backward reaction, or a second order forward reaction opposed by a second order backward reaction. Okay, by using a similar mathematical approach, you can derive expression for rate constants and rate of the reaction. But though the derivations are straightforward, they will be a bit complicated compared to this case. So we will stick on to these very simple examples. Okay, so this is about kinetics of reversible reaction. In the next class, we will discuss about the kinetics of other two types of complex reaction, that is parallel reactions and consecutive reactions. Thank you.